Here we are on a Monday and ready to talk about the NFL. Today I want to discuss Phillip Rivers, Lamar Jackson, and then lastly I want to give you my top 5 receivers in the NFL today. So, are you ready to get your fix? Well, this offseason, Phillip Rivers decided to sign with the Indianapolis Colts during free agency. And this was kind of big news, being that he spent his whole career with the Chargers. I felt like he could have retired there, maybe had one more season, and let Herbert learn under him. But that wasn't the case. He decided, it's time for a new scene, and he went to the Colts. Now, one thing about this deal that really didn't make too much sense to me was what makes Phillip think that he can go from Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler to T.Y. Hilton and Marlon Mack and produce better numbers. Like, what does he think he's going to do that was better than the Chargers? I mean, I feel like he essentially went to the same style of offense. I think he went from Keenan Allen to now he has T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. is a little smaller, but they're both really, really good receivers. Both top 10, top 15 for sure. And then you got Marlon Mack and Austin Eckler. You've seen Austin Eckler put up those numbers last year. He had a really good season, and he took the job from Melvin Gordon. So Marlon Mack is the same way. He's a very good Colts runner. Now he has Jonathan Taylor to back him up. So I feel like Phillip Rivers just went to the same thing, and he's going to produce the same. I don't think he really changed up too much besides the team name. Now I do believe he's gonna be just fine. Don't get me wrong, he's gonna be just fine with the Indianapolis Colts. And as of now, I got the Colts winning the division at 10-6, and that's probably one of the worst divisions with the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, and the Jaguars. But it's starting to get a little stronger, so that's why they have that 10-6. They also kind of have a tougher schedule. And so I also, with winning the division, they're going to the playoffs. I have them going to the playoffs. I'm pretty sure I got them I think it's 4th, I want to say. Yeah, so it'll be 4th. I got them going 4th seed in the playoffs. But like I said, I'm just not sure if Phillip's going to produce better numbers. I just don't think so. I think he's going to be the same Phillip, same kind of guy. I don't want to play the age game either, but Phillip's getting up there in age. He's 38 years old, so expect him to start slowing down. So that's why I also don't think he's going to put up those numbers. He's going to slow down, and if he doesn't slow down, then awesome, good for him. That's even better. You want to write off, at a top notch, not low. But Phillip's going to have to have a tough test this season. He really is. So I'd just be ready to watch that play out. Because that's going to be kind of fun to watch. Moving over to last year's MVP recipient, Lamar Jackson. This guy flat out put on a show last season, and it was so much fun to watch. I mean, he literally did it whatever he could to win. He was so electrifying, kind of to say. So this is going to be a very interesting season for Lamar. Because what if he doesn't perform like last year? What if all those moves he made last year and how he made those defenders look silly doesn't transfer to this year? I mean, granted, it probably will, and maybe not as good, but it still could be, and he could still make a run for MVP. And that's like what I said last week on Friday about my MVP recipients, or my top 5 guys to get MVP. Lamar's still in there. I still have him in there because I feel like he still could perform just as well. But you never know. What if last year was just a one and done type of thing? That's what I'm kind of saying here. Is that what we got from Lamar? Or is there more to come? Is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to produce these kind of numbers? It's just one of those things. He literally made defenders look silly last year when he was on the run. The Cincinnati Bengals game is really in mind when he was running out about 10, 15 yards, and then he stutter step one way and juke back the other. And he literally made, I think, 1 or 2 people fall. That's absolutely insane. That's a running back there. That's Michael Vick. This is what the game has changed to, a mobile quarterback game, and Michael Vick was the first one kind of to introduce that, and then it was RG3 or Cam Newton, one of the two, and then it's slowly starting to move up. Now it's Lamar, and Lamar Jackson is probably the closest thing to Michael Vick that we have seen since. So, just his ability to get outside the pocket and still make throws, or take off running it's next level. The only thing I think Lamar needs to do or work on is his sliding. I think it's just one of these times I really feel that some defender isn't going to miss. He's not going to miss a tackle, and he's going to lay the boom. He's going to lay the boom on Lamar Jackson, and it could be devastating to Lamar. It could be devastating to his career. So you got to learn to slide. He needs to slide to avoid getting crushed. He just does. Because like I said, it could possibly ruin his career. So learn how to slide. Go get those, baseball traits and go get that baseball practice in, and you'll be just fine, which I believe he has already. I believe he has, and we're just waiting to see what he's, worked on throughout this offseason. As I stated last Friday, like I said earlier, he's going to put up a fight for MVP this season. He really is. He's hungry for more, and I really like the fact that he's very subtle about things. Okay, he's not gonna blow it in your face. He's not gonna be like, well, I was last year's MVP. I'm gonna be this year's, and I'm gonna be the next year's, and keep showing you that I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna be that. No, I haven't really seen one thing of him gloating about it, like, at all. So that's one thing I love, is he doesn't brag about anything he's won. He just says, all right, that's one chapter closed. Now we got to start writing a new one. And, if it's not the same, it's not the same. But he always has that one season where he can go back and be like, it was a good year, So I feel like I said, I love that he's just subtle about things, and he just moves on. And he knows it's a new season, and he needs to prove that he's still the MVP. He needs to prove that now. He needs to put everybody on notice that says, hey, I won it last year, and I'm going to win it this year, but with his work on the field, not with his mouth. Patrick Mahomes very easily could have won it last year. Very easily. He won it 2 years ago, and then last year he put up a really good fight, and Patrick Mahomes, like Lamar, is going to put up a fight this year. I think these two are going to go back and forth for quite a while. I think Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson are the new Drew Brees, Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say Lamar is one of the best athletes in the NFL, for sure. To even just to watch, due to the fact that he puts on a show, and you never know what's coming next. So, that's just Lamar being Lamar, and I really can't. I want to see if he's going to put these moves on. I want to see, he still has the same core. I think wide receiver core. He still's got Mark Ingram. Now just go out there and give a little shimmy and do what you did last year. Give us a show. That's all you got to do. Do what you got to do. Get the job done. So now I kind of want to switch gears. So the time has come to give you my top 5 wide receivers in today's NFL. Now, this is what I believe. I'm not, it's not top 5 receivers of all time or anything like that. I can give you that later some other time. But no, this is the top 5 receivers in today's NFL. This is what I believe. Now, this was a little tough to figure out who I wanted to place in my top 5. But there was obviously some receivers that were no-brainers. There was obviously some of those. So to give you my top 5, I'm going to do it the same way I did with the MVP. I'll give you my top 5. Then I'm going to narrow it down to the top 3 of those. And then finally, I want to give you my choice for the best receiver in today's NFL. And this is always subject to change, with injuries. If injuries happen, I got to take a guy out. If it's a season-ending injury, or one of the, I feel like he can't perform. So always subject to change. But here's my top 5 wide receivers. So first, I got DeAndre Hopkins. This is just in random order, by the way. So DeAndre Hopkins, I have him mainly because he's had 5 1,000-yard receiving seasons. So he's able to go and get open, find the ball, and make big plays. He's able to get in the end zone. He's, even Madden has him as an X factor. This guy literally goes up, gets the ball, can make insane catches. I mean, granted, he's not, no OBJ, but he's going to go up, and he can grab it out of your hands. If the corner has the ball, I bet you DeAndre Hopkins comes down with it 9 times out of 10. It's just that's what he is. That's his character, and he's always been like that. And with him going to Arizona with Kyler Murray, a young quarterback, even though he had Deshaun Watson, I just feel like maybe Arizona's a better fit. Maybe that's just what needs to happen. But next I got Julio Jones, who, by the way, has had 6 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. So obviously I have to put him in there. Julio Jones has been a force with Atlanta. He's always been kind of a top figure at wide receiver. And then next I got Michael Thomas. Now this was one of the no-brainers for sure also. He broke the all-time reception, or single-season reception record with 149 receptions. It's insane. That's absolutely ridiculous. I believe that's like 9.5 I think it's like 9 or 8, close to 9 receptions a game, which is ridiculous. And for corners not to be able to stop that, come on now. Like, what is going on? And he's been in the league since 2016, and not one season has he been under 1,000 yards receiving. Now, he does have Drew Brees, but still, you have to be able to get open to get that 1,000 yards. And he's been doing it with ease, with ease, and he's been very consistent with it, and he's definitely in my top 5. Next, I actually got Larry Fitzgerald. This is this is probably going to spark some debate, being that how old he is, but here's the thing. He has more tackles than he does drop passes, that is. He has 37 tackles and 29 drop passes. Oh, and by the way, he's also second all-time in receiving yards in the NFL. I think he has 17,083 yards, and that's behind Jerry Rice, who I think has like 20,000 something. But still, okay, Larry gets it done. He's very consistent. He rarely gets hurt. He's that veteran guy who's going to teach these youngins how to play the game, how to do that, But that's why he's on there. Like, this guy is so consistent, and the fact that he never really drops the ball if it's thrown his way is even better. That means he's still finding a way to get open and still be that veteran guy, be that freak. He's going to play 1-2 more years. It wouldn't surprise me if he retired after 2 more. But he's had a Hall of Fame career. He's definitely a maybe first ballot. So, now lastly, I also got Keenan Allen in my top 5. He, over the last 3 seasons, he's had over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns each of those years. So he's very consistent. He's going to get the job done. He did have Phillip thrown to him. So maybe with Justin Herbert or Tyrod Taylor giving the ball, his stats are going to change. They're definitely going to be different. Keenan Allen is a top-notch receiver. He's fast. He's a very, very good route runner. And he just makes plays. He's kind of like I don't want to say a Jarvis Landry. I want to say, like, he's close to what DeAndre Hopkins can do or Julio Jones, but he just does it in his own way, kind of. So that's why I got him, because he's very consistent, very consistent. Now you can take out one or two of these guys, and you can put Mike Evans in there, or you could put Odell Beckham Jr. in there, but I don't have him in my top 5 due to the fact that I just don't think they're as consistent. OBJ didn't have as great of a year last year. He's always been known for that spectacular catch. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin kind of outshined him last year. I mean, a little bit, but not too much. But still, Mike Evans is a really good receiver. I just don't think they're as consistent, but they're definitely my top 10. There's no doubt about it. They might be 6 and 7. Like, that's how it goes. Anyways, out of those 5 guys that I gave you, Julio, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Larry Fitzgerald, and Keenan Allen, I'm going to give you my top 3. And those guys, my top 3 are DeAndre Hopkins. Like I said it earlier, man. This guy just gets the ball. He can make plays, and he makes it happen day in and day out. And then I got Michael Thomas. Okay, obviously have to go with Michael Thomas. 4 years in the NFL, 1,000 yards every time, 149 receptions. Like, are you kidding? That's ridiculous, and you're that young. Okay, I bet you he's gonna be the all-time NFL leader in receptions after this. Like, after he's done. And then lastly, I got Keenan Allen. I don't have Julio or Larry in my top 3 because, so for Julio, he just can't get at the end zone. Every time I've watched him, every season, he literally, he can move down the field. He can help move that ball down the field, but he doesn't score. He really doesn't score, and it's kind of shocking in a way. I think it was either last season or a couple years ago. Linval Joseph had more touchdowns than Julio Jones did, I think, at like week 8, and that was like 1 or something. It was ridiculous. I couldn't even believe it, and then all of a sudden, Julio finally gets 4 to 6 touchdowns. But he's had one season where he scored 10 times, where he's caught 10 touchdowns or got 10 touchdowns. Other than that, he usually he averages around 6. He dips under that sometimes. He can dip under that. But about 6 is where he's at, because it's more of at the end of the season where he starts to flourish, and I really don't know why that is, but that's just how it is. So, like I said, he can move the ball on the field, but he's just not going to score, and that's why I can't put him in my top 3. And Larry didn't make the cut solely on the fact that I feel like he's going to be more of a role player this year and be that veteran receiver who is going to teach those younger guys, what to do. He's going to teach them the routes and all this. Yeah, he's still going to be in the game. He's still going to be a big part of that offense, like I said. He's going to be a role player. He knows his job. He says, okay, I'm going to go out there, maybe get 2 to 5 catches a game, 20 yards, 30 yards. That's all I need. I don't care. That's all I need to do. I'm getting up there. I want to stay as healthy as long as I can. He probably is going to have a job in the Arizona organization after this. So, like, being that role player, that's why I couldn't put him in my top 3. But Larry's still going to get the job done for these Cardinals. He never drops the ball, so he was really close to making the cut. So I think this is a very good top 3. We'll see how it goes. And now today I want to get to my number 1 receiver in the NFL, and that guy is Michael Thomas. I chose Michael Thomas as my top guy because he has been in the league for only 4 seasons. And not once, like I said earlier, has he dipped under 1,000 yards receiving. That means every time he goes out there, every season, if he stays healthy, you're getting 1,000 yards from him. That's consistency. That's showing I can get this job done. You throw me the ball, I will find a way to get open, I will find a way to catch it, and I'll make things happen. He's a big part of the Saints offense, and without him, I really feel the Saints are subpar. They'll still be good because they got Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, but without Michael Thomas, it's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher to win games. He does have one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in Drew Brees, like I said, so that helps a lot. But his ability to get open, catch the ball, be consistent, stay healthy. Like I said earlier too, he broke the all-time single season record for receptions at 149. That's ridiculous. For me, it's an obvious number 1. You can argue. You could put Hopkins up there. You could put, I wouldn't say who. You could put Odell. There's a lot of Browns fans that would do that, or a lot of Giants fans that would do that, just because of his spectacular catches. But I think right now in today's NFL, the number 1 receiver is Michael Thomas. This guy gets it done. He's absolutely ridiculous, and don't be surprised if he gets and averages 120 receptions his whole career every season. It's at this point where it's so legitimate that he can get 120 receptions a season. That's why he's the number 1 receiver in today's game. He gets it done. He's gonna have another 1,000-yard season. You gotta expect that, especially after 4 consecutive. It's just how it is, and like I said, he's gonna get that unless he gets hurt. So that's gonna end today's discussion. Thanks for watching, and you just got your fix with the Wicks.